It's not nuanced. It's a white guy, white man, an old white man, deciding what happens with resources of a brown country. That's literally what's going on. And that has been going on for centuries.
But the nuances, I get that. I get the way that you've laid it out. But let's introduce some details about the white man and, as you put it, the brown country. The brown country, as you call it, is being run by a dictator who, yes, he was a dictator. So there's an argument that regime change would be of benefit to the Venezuelan people.
We do not have a right to go into North America or to the USA and decide who runs the USA. We also do not have a right to go into Venezuela or to any part of the Caribbean and decide what they do. It's not our business. And then when it all comes unstuck and it all becomes a problem, oh my gosh, why do these people hate us so much? Of course they hate you. Northern Europe has nothing. Northern Europe has no resources. It's got no land, it's got no gold, it's got no oil, it's got no bauxite, it's got no cobalt, it's got nothing. And yet it claims to be the first world. It became the first world by looting and pillaging everybody else.
Attention, player haters and overrated disbelievers of all kinds. I stand before you today 10 toes down as the bearer of bad news. Y'all done fucked up.
What's happening, fam? L.A.R. movement still moving. Subscribe or die trying. You see the thumbnail. Matter of fact, you gonna see the clip. The lady's talking about white supremacy to the English guy, but I'm tying this to the Venezuelan Vibranium, which is oil, right? So here's the thing. For all you people, it's a lot of stuff going on in this. Okay, U.S. attacks Venezuela. Now, this Iran all over again. We're doing this for freedom. Oil, gold. I know they got something else, something like cobalt or something like that. But here's what people don't say. If I'm not mistaken, Venezuela has a real cozy business relationship with China and Russia. So U.S. attacked Venezuela to take the oil, to also, be like, China, you can't get none of this. Russia, you can't get none of this. While Russia's at a war with Ukraine, it's wild. It's wild. And you have, once again, the white people going, hey, man, here we go, white people and up again. People got stuff. We want to steal it and act like, oh, they're a dictator, they're bad people, and we're the good guys, and we're just coming to help you out. And, while we're stealing all your stuff. And even white people like, I'm tired of this. Because then you're going to turn around and play the victim like, why do you, like 9/11, what? They hate us for our freedom. Shut your ass up. But then, and then you have the people, people like to say the people in Venezuela, they're celebrating. They've got rid of a dictator. They're happy. They're great. Yeah, all these countries were happy when the U.S. showed up at first, and then they realized years later these motherfuckers stealing from us. Yeah, they surely is stealing from us. They didn't undermine our country. They sure did. Think about it. And I ain't even just talking about U.S. Think about Europe. Think about all the non-white countries they've invaded. U.S., Europe. Think about it. If white people don't live there, those countries decimated. That's what it is. And all those people celebrated at first. You blame the Taliban. The Taliban, you made the Taliban. Which in turn basically made Al-Qaeda. We don't like the communism of Cuba. You don't like the fact that y'all went to Cuba with the mafia to try to make Cuba like, Tijuana and Las Vegas, kind of like New Orleans too. And the Cubans said no, and you tried to go to war with them people and you lost. That's what you don't like. That's what that was. It wasn't communism. That was, man, they ain't gonna let us come over here and make gambling spots, casinos and whole houses, and they beat us. We're gonna bomb them for life. That's what that is. Look it up. Most of the Middle East, until we're gonna have to have peace with you Americans, because Lord, you're killing us. So they were able to build because of that. A lot of Asia decimated. We were bringing these people freedom. Lies, lies, lies. We y'all in Africa. And then you call it, Africa's a terrible place. They don't have infrastructure. Every country that Europeans, white people, Americans go into somehow don't have infrastructure. Just magically by all these bombings and all of these dictators that y'all put in place. I swear. But now, you know, then you have I forgot the guy doggone politician's name. He's like, we need your kids. Basically, we want to give us your precious children so we can get them in the military and send them off to war for our freedom. And once again, you having that debate. Well, why are these rich people and these politicians want everybody else's kids but not their own for the freedom? It's like, y'all messed up the economy, and now we got to send our kids to war to put more money in your pocket. And here's the other thing, we need to recruit more. And part of the reason why, military recruitment is you wanted it more white. Remember that. Remember that part. You wanted it more white. Now you want to go to war, and now you want white people to give you their white kids, which, by the way, your population is dying. It's funny because you're gonna turn. Because what do you have to do? Are you gonna turn right around and go, okay, we need these black and brown people? You mean the brown people you trying to get up out the country? The black people you just trying to kick out the military because you don't like the way they look? The Asians? I don't know about that, dog. I'm just saying. So you put yourself in this position where you start you're on the precipice of trying to start economic war, but not a war, but it might start a war. Like, you get what I'm saying? It's on one of them things. We're naming other countries we might go to. Okay. All right. And I knew this, in part, this is part of BRICS, So now you're going to play this game where you're going to go to war again. And see, this is what people forget. They used to have this thing even when the Iraq thing happened, the second time the Iraq war happened with Bush. And they were going, war is good for the economy. And that war is is really the beginning reason and the reason why this country's $38 trillion in debt and counting. So you're going to do it again, the exact same way. With the exact same ideology, with the exact same type of leadership. $60 trillion in debt, here we come. Here we come. And then, also then you have all these people who are trying to tell people, shut up, y'all know what you're talking about, okay. But internet tough guy telling people, shut up, you ain't gonna go over there if they actually went to war either. So you need to shut up too. You can't bust a grape in a fruit fight, but so don't act like you really like that. Stop it. Add to this the African thing. That's part of the reason why I use the British lady in that commentary. Add to the fact that Africa's is figuring it out. They're gonna start cutting ties. They're cutting ties with France and Britain, and and it's gonna affecting their economy. And then it's gonna be we're gonna try to have a war with Africa. for the stolen resources to get restolen. You get what I'm saying? And then what you gonna say? And those people are celebrating too. There's a lot of people celebrating, huh? They celebrate. Everybody's celebrating when you show up, but when you leave, everybody just somehow has a militarized force. Like we ain't gonna never let this happen again. That becomes the terrorists and enemies of the world. I hear you. Oh, and by the way, the so you got gas companies. The president's gonna put gas companies in a foreign country after they bombed it to take the oil. So you got to ask the question: who was in charge of this decision? Was it the president, or was it oil and gas? Was it Exxon? Was it Chevron? Was it Phillips? Was you get what I'm saying? Who's really pulling the strings here? See, the same way y'all talk about not being upset at the Jewish community because they have too much power in Congress, having having too much influence with Israel and Palestine, and having too much influence in America about Israel, is the same issue you're gonna have with these oil and gas companies. Who, by the way, gotta put this in there. Oil and gas companies, car manufacturers, lost the EV battle to China. And that might be what it is. Lithium. I think it's lithium. It's lithium in Venezuela. I'm just saying, man. It's lithium there. That's what it is. It's lithium. You know. So at the end of the day, man, it's going to be another situation that people say starts out good, but it's going to end horribly. Horribly. While you think about this, while you detaining people, shipping Hispanic peoples back to other countries in Central and South America, and blaming it on the drugs, but after this is over, it's still gonna be a lot of drugs in America. I'm just saying. So this is why this is interesting. The Venezuelan vibranium, and has got them acting up again. But I'm done. Tell me what you think. Like, share, subscribe. Catch you on the next one. Peace.